Hello everybody, this is Oliver from Neo and my mission is to make you a big organic green tea lover. My mission is to introduce you in the world or into the world of Japanese green tea. And today I have a new and special tea with me, and this is the Nuruki Shincha from Kyushu. So this is a sencha which is actually coming from the south, so from the Kyushu island, from the very south of Japan, and it is not only a sencha, it is a special sencha, so-called Shincha. Shincha, some of you might know, is the first or very first harvest in the year. This one here has been harvested around early May, so it's a very fresh and very young tea. We held it back a little bit, but now we released it on our web shop, and today it's all about this tea, and I will guide you through the taste notes of this tea, how the tea looks like and how it smells, and everything what is important about this tea. So thank you for joining me for this session, and let's dive directly into it. So when I just look at the leaves, what's clearly seeable, or what I can clearly see, is that this tea is shaded. Due to its darker color, which you can notice when I just bring it closer to you, it's not a heavy shaded tea, so it's not too long shaded, and it's a slightly Fukamushi style. This you can see here is a little bit of dust which is showing up. So very, very beautiful tea, very high quality with a nice sweet smell. So when I just take a smell of the leaves from the pack, I see a lot of fruitiness is coming out of this, so it must be a very sweet cultivar which is mixed in here. I guess it's a Samidori, I might be a Okumidori as well. And we have really this kind of fruity flavor profile, which is very important when you also have a young harvest. So I guess there's a little bit of Yukita inside especially, and we can really have a savory sweet note, but also a lot of fruitiness and a little bit of grassiness is swinging with the taste as well. So a very delicate tea, very soft I guess in its taste, but this only reveals now when we go into the tasting of this tea. For this I brought my Kyushu Black Tokoname, my favorite, and I have 5 grams of this beautiful tea, and I just drop it into my Kyushu, and I'm gonna take 60 degrees of water, so 140 degrees Fahrenheit. It's just the best temperature to do a green tea. It's with all the temperatures. What you have is a little bit when you go higher, which is normally the case for Japanese people, because they also like more this a little bit astringent, this like slightly bitter flavor. What Japanese people are also looking for in a tea. We in the Europe, or we in the States, we more in the Western world tends to like it more sweet, more fruity, and this you achieve the max or the most of it when you go down to 60 degrees, 140 Fahrenheit. My personal tip to you, if you don't like the astringency, try it with a lower temperature, even 50 degrees. So if you even go to 125, 130 Fahrenheit, this is also a very, very good match for your Japanese green tea, especially it's a sweet one, filled with L-theanine, coming from the shading, really, really being like kind of a denser, kind of a little bit of a more fruity flavor profile. Then you definitely go down with the temperature to push even more these flavors. Good, we're gonna just leave it in for around 1 minute, and then we're gonna have a look at it, how this tea is actually in terms of taste. Due to the fact that it's a little bit, the leaves are a little bit broken, you don't need to leave it in for too long, so I can just take it out already now and have the first cup of this beautiful tea. So you see the very, very beautiful strong green color of this tea, coming from a mix of the small leaves, coming of the mix of the shading. So this is definitely going in the direction of a Fukamushi style. Some Shinchas, they also go in this because They have such fine leaves because these are the small leaves in springtime, so they really can kind of break a little bit faster and then give this intense green color to the liquor or to the liquid of the tea. And you can really see also smaller particles floating around, also sediments at the bottom. So a very, very nice tea in terms of giving quite a good amount of leaves also to the brewed water. So this is something I personally highly appreciate. So let's dive into it. So let's take a first sniff of the tea leaves. So I have a lot of this sweet corn flavor, but it's a little bit of a tiny kind of a tiny note of roasted popcorn with it, which is pretty cool. Then I got a lot of this artichoke flavor. So I guess this tea is quite strong in its umami, a little bit this savory sweet flavor profile. Grassiness is not very prominent, so I don't expect too much of grassiness with this tea. Got a little bit of seaweed as well. So let's try this one here and have a look how the taste is like. It's a very sweet and very, very fine tea. So I have a lot of this kind of fruitiness, but it's also supported with a savory taste note. So you clearly have an umami flavor profile. But what is nice is that you have a nice density, but still quite a nice lightness to this tea. So it's not a typical Gyokuro, which is really dense, gliding smoothly over your tongue. You have a little bit this gliding effect, but much less. You don't have this strong savory taste note, so it stays on the light side, but it's very sweet and very, very smooth. I have no bitterness at all. There's not a strong grassy note to it. There's a slight acidity to it, so I believe there is some yabukita in this tea, which brings a little bit of a tingling on the top of the tongue. It is a slight acidity, but there's no astringency with it. So I don't have this astringent mouthfeel with this tea, which I can get also from a yabukita, which can show a little bit more, a little bit of astringency, which can due to the broad flavor profile of the yabukita, also the kind of the astringent tones are swinging with the tea. Here I have a lot of smoothness, sweetness, and a little bit of an acidic tingling on the top of the tongue. So very minerally as well, so very well nourished this tea as well. Just have a lot of a kind of a broad sweetness with this one here. This is a very, very nice taste. What you can see is that the sediments it's pretty strong in sediments, this tea, yeah, like this, you can see it very well. So I guess now with the last sip, I will also get a hint of this grassiness, a little bit of a grassy shot. Not even, so very smooth, still very smooth, a little bit of a light grassy taste, but it's not strong at all in the grassy profile. So let's have just a second brewing of this one. Important, if you have done the first brewing 4 minutes, then you can just leave it in for 20 seconds, maybe 30, but not more. You don't need more of a brewing for the second brewing, because in the first one, the tea leaves, they really open up. So in the second one, they're already open and giving a lot of flavor to the tea. You can see the intensity even increases with the second brewing. Very, very beautiful. There are always fights in Japan. What is finally the better brewing, the first or the second? I personally like the first a lot, because with the first one you really have the first time you touch with your tongue the beauty and the flavors of the tea. Some people say that the second one is the better one because then everything gets extracted from the tea leaves. We can really see that even the liquor has even become more dense. So this is a little bit of an ad-like tea. So a tea which you can see the ads because of its beautiful green, intense green color. Let's see how the taste profile develops. Still, it's a very, very nice mix between a little bit of this acidity, so it's a little bit of a refreshing tone, a little bit of a nearly citrusy tone. And on the other hand, you really have a nice sweetness, a smoothness, and not a too strong density, but still a light density of the water due to the nice shading. I can really feel that it's nice and rich with amino acids, with minerals. So this tea, thanks to the shading, has also swinging with it in the end as well of this sweetness, a little bit of this savoriness, but without or with being far away from this strong savory taste profile which you can get then from a Gyokuro, which is the most shaded, longest shaded, the tea of the emperor. So definitely. So this has been a real enjoyment for me. This is the new one we have. I found it like 3 months ago, and this tea is just an amazing, amazing tea in terms of smoothness, mixed with a nice citrusy, a little bit of acidity, so it's refreshing and smooth at the same time. A very, very nice balance of these two sides of a tea. Try it for yourself. You can get a sample on our website, or you can just buy the full pack. Test it out for yourself. If you like this one, the Shincha from Nuruki, so try this one out and let me know what you think about it. And if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate. Please write me a message wherever I am, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or here just in the comment section. Happy to have you. See you and bye bye.